Hey everyone, I want to talk all about intrusive urges today. That is a question I get asked a lot. I was on a phone call with someone this morning. He'll laugh when he sees this because I told him this was going to be a video I wanted to make. Intrusive urges are something that's not really talked about a whole lot. Now, if I'm squinting a little bit in this video, it's because I'm surrounded by snow, and this is what they basically call when you're hiking a mountain and you go snow blind, because the reflection of, it doesn't matter which way I'm facing right now, the sun is going to be in my eyes no matter what. So it probably won't be too long of a video, so I don't have to squint the entire time, but I do want to talk about intrusive urges and get right to the point. How to wear them, how they come about, why people are really scared of urges, and why I think wearing the urge was one of the most important parts and one of the most difficult parts of my specific OCD recovery journey. But before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below. Ask any questions you want about urges, especially because I said urges are something that's not really talked about a whole lot. And I think it is really important to cover urges because it's something that so many people feel stuck on. And if you have any questions and you want to contact us about coaching or webinar services, please email us at info@ocdrecovery.com and we'll get back to you in a timely fashion. Okay, so we have intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, and urges. And as most people know who watch my content, I categorize those in the realm of rumination, because when you ruminate, that is the intrusiveness of a thought, sensation, urge, or image that comes because someone has a core fear. So let's say someone has a core fear of dying, and then the irrational belief is dying is the worst thing ever and I can't stand it. They will get a different spectrum of intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges correlating to that core fear. So it's so important to cover that. And what a lot of people get wrong is, especially in the rumination aspect, they think they can just stop it. But I used an example on the phone this morning in the coaching call where I said, if you broke your leg, you wouldn't be able to look down at your broken leg and say, no more pain, go away. That would not make any sense. But that's what a lot of people think you can do when it comes to rumination. And every single person who comes into OCD recovery says the same thing. I've been told to stop ruminating. I've been told that ruminating, I can just bring it down. And we all know that OCD and anxiety recovery isn't that simple. So it is really, really important to realize that we'll need to have a little bit more forethought into actually bringing down the core fear if we want to see some changes. I know what I'm actually going to do. Give me 1 second. I am actually going to do this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That is a lot better for me. So the urge. Now, remember what I said. There's a core fear. Then there's an irrational belief, then there's an intrusive thought, image, sensation, and urge. We're going to specify in the urges. There's no actual difference between an urge, a sensation, an image, and a feeling, because it all perpetuates an intrusiveness that the person deems as uncomfortable, and then they try to run from that. And that's all common knowledge when it comes to those urges. And then when the urge is, like, say someone has a self-harm urge, they'll have an urge, they're walking by a bridge, and the urge will feel like they have to jump off and do something like that. Maybe they have harm OCD against a family member, so they're hiding knives in their house because of the urge of, what if I lose control? Usually when there's an urge involved with a lot of different fears, there's a fear of losing control. And understanding this is why I always talk about understanding OCD and how it works practically is one of the most important things you could do for your OCD and anxiety recovery journey, because if you didn't understand how it works, it's hard to actually figure out what to do with acceptance or exposures and stuff like that. So that's really, really key. So the urges I had were always twined to immediate change. And this is what I was talking about with that guy on the phone this morning. He asked me, how do you wear that? And how do you know and how do you differentiate between when you should make an immediate change and when you shouldn't? And I had to realize that, and this is very hard to do outside of OCD recovery. It's just a difficult thing to be that self-aware about all the time. So let's say you want to make a change in your life. What a lot of people do is they'll want to make a change immediately. Instead of, okay, I'm going to wait, say 7, 10, 2 months to make any sort of this significant change. So what people will do is they'll be like, I want to change my hair. I want to change my clothing style. I want to change this. I want to change that. And all of that is perpetuated because it feels as real as it can get. This is something that's so easily misconstrued and is easily missed. It's understandably easily missed because unless you suffer with OCD at a chronic level like a lot of us do, it's very difficult to actually understand how the realness of this feels and why it makes it. You are convinced that you have to make a change right now. And it feels so naturally, almost inspirational, that if you don't do it, you're making a wrong decision against your values or you're going to be in danger. And you're going to have to lean into that possibility that you're making a mistake. That is the most important thing about OCD and anxiety recovery. So the urges, I became much more comfortable with sensations before I became much more comfortable with urges. Because a sensation, I realized I can wear any sensation. Blinking, breathing, swallowing, salivation, panic attacks, anxiety-based symptoms, blurry vision, heart palpitations, anything else. That really didn't bother me after a while, but what did confuse me, this is why I talk about confusion so much, is how real the urges feel. Because when you want to do something in your life and you feel like it's the right decision, that is an urge that you are experiencing. And that's not unique to OCD and anxiety recovery. That's unique to humans and beings in general. They have a belief. That belief could be wanting to set goals, and then you see things not going your way, and then there's a sense of urgency to make a change. So people make a change and they'll actually stick things out. I was the king of not being patient. I was the king of shortchanging myself when it came to, there's a great quote by a guy, Alex Hormozy, that Rob and I, a lot of things we do like about him, but some things we don't, very black and white. A lot of the business people can be nowadays because it brings a lot of emotion. But he had a great post one day that said, the worst thing you could do for yourself is to change your plan when things get hard. And that is so important. So that is extra hard when you're going through OCD and anxiety recovery because of the realness of these things. So remember, intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges, it will always make you feel different. Some people say, well, I don't have any urges and I have thoughts. I don't have any thoughts, but I have sensations. None of that actually matters. What matters is the way you respond to those intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges that are perpetuating at an intrusive level because of the core fear mixed in with the irrational belief. So again, simple example, core fear, the fear of death. The irrational belief is dying is the worst thing ever. I can't stand it. This should never happen to me. I want to live forever. Maybe a little bit of existential OCD mixed in there. Then you have intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges about dying or potentially losing control and hurting yourself or getting into a car accident. It can manifest in different ways. This is why when people say to me the content of the thought doesn't matter, it goes to show a clear misunderstanding of OCD, because the content of the thought doesn't matter. The content of the fear matters. And this is something that I've never heard anyone talk about outside OCD recovery because it's not easy to understand when you've never had OCD. So the content of the thought, you're right, it doesn't really matter, because if you have a fear of death, that can manifest in car accidents, self-harm with objects, dying in a fire, dying of cancer, dying of any other illness, but that doesn't actually matter. What really does matter is the core fear, which is you believing death is the worst thing ever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I would make it a little bit longer, but I will touch on this subject again just because it's so blindingly bright in this cul-de-sac. It is a beautiful place around here. I'll show you. I'm in this sweet neighborhood, and it's just really cool. I like doing videos in these type of scenarios, just getting outside. I've been bringing my tripod with me a lot more, just because I really do love the snow, and I just love the way it looks, and it's just pretty, you know, and hiking in it is a lot of fun. It's also challenging. So if you have any questions, again, please email us at info@ocdrecovery.com. And please ask questions in this one. Ask all the questions about urges, because it's something that a lot of people are confused about. And remember, I always talk about leaning into that confusion. So you want to lean into that, because you are going to feel confused a lot on this journey. Am I doing this right? Is it an actual urge? Is it OCD? Is it not OCD? Am I in the right relationship? Should I leave? You know, you take someone with R OCD, the urge to leave the relationship is so strong. They feel like it's so naturally inspired, they actually have to leave the relationship. But what they want to do is lean into that discomfort of not needing to know the answer. So thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, have a great day.